Hey, what's up guys, MGH here and welcome back to my Christmas countdown series. We took a little bit of a break. I wanted to make it just my top 10, so it's a little bit more interesting for you guys. I mean, it's difficult to say your top 25 when you're only a couple of months into the game, but I definitely feel like I have a top 10. And we're going to start at the number 10 spot today. And we're going to Dortmund again. We've already had one player from there, which was Sancho, of course, the young English talent. But today, it's all about Dahoud. I absolutely love this guy, and I have done for many FIFAs. And I cannot seem to find another centre midfielder like him in the game that plays like him. There's something about this guy, and you know it's going to be difficult for you guys to understand why I like a player so much unless you've actually tried them yourselves. And I'm sure quite a few of you have done a Dortmund career mode, even though they haven't got the stadium anymore, which really sucks. But Dahoud, at 21 years old, 79 rated, one of the better midfielders in the game. And he really does have a great potential as well. 5'10", making him a bit on the short side for a defensive midfielder, but trust me, it doesn't mean anything. He plays centre mid or CDM, although sometimes I've actually played him behind a striker, which was incredible. For me, the best thing about this guy is the 4-star weak foot, 4-star skills, and the high-medium work rates. He's just the ultimate midfielder. He reminds me a lot of Gundogan, and I think that's why I like him so much. We can have a look at his specialities and traits here. No specialities, but of course he does gain some as he trains and gets better rated. But he does have the flair trait and the long shot taker. So if we have a look at his stats in a minute, you'll see that although his long shot stats aren't incredible, they're lying. They're absolutely lying to you. Those stats do not represent what he feels like in-game. His long shots are ridiculous. So his mental and physical stats, I mean, you can look where he's best at the moment is his movement. His acceleration is pretty decent with 78, 87 agility, sprint speed is 69, which is more than good enough, 85 stamina. He's a little bit weak, 58 strength, and that is definitely one of the downsides to him, but he doesn't feel that weak. I would have said he feels like he's got 65 strength, maybe 70, but this is, of course, where it matters most for a midfielder. What's he like on the ball? His ball control is extremely good for a defensive midfielder or a box-to-box midfielder. His dribbling's very high as well, 81. And there you can see his long shots and his shot power. So 78 long shots, 72 shot power. It's not right. I don't understand it. They feel like they're in the high 80s. They really do. And defensively, he's solid. 61 slide, 65 stand, tackling stats. Very decent indeed. The only way I can explain it, guys, is if you're looking for a creative defensive midfielder, something like, I don't know, a bit of a Santi Cazorla / Gundogan, a few little players, I shouldn't really say little players, a few players that mix into one player, that for me is Dahoud. And if you can get him cheap, you know, you can get a really good player out of him. He grows into an absolute beast. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into career mode and try and sign him. So unfortunately, if you want to sign Dahoud, you will not be able to do it right away. He's recently joined Dortmund. I believe in-game it was for 22 million from Gladbach. So you are going to have to wait until 6 months in, until the January transfer window. But sometimes that doesn't even work. Sometimes it still says they're not available. So you might have to wait until the beginning of Season 2. And this is what we see at the moment in my save. He's got a value of 25.5 million. He has gone up to 82 rated. No release clause, a wage of 55k, which isn't too bad to be fair. But his value, or the offer we're going to have to make, is around 32 to 48 million. So he's not cheap. He really isn't. But you can see in just one season, without training, obviously, because I haven't been in control of him, he's gone up by 3 ratings, which is very impressive. And he'll probably go up by another 2 or 3 in the second season. So with his current value of 25.5, I'm tempted to quite literally offer 25.5, but I reckon, you know, some players, when they hit that 21, 22 years old, that kind of mark, they feel like they're a little bit cheaper than they were, say, if they were 19, 20. I don't know if that's just me that's had that experience. So I'm going to go in with 23 million here. We are Manchester United. Maybe they'd be willing to do more of a deal with us. But let's see what happens. And oh my God, it hasn't gone through whatsoever. Okay, scratch that. You are going to have to pay a bit more. Right, okay, here we go again then. Let's try not to alienate him. Let's just make a better offer this time. I think I'll play it a bit safe. Let's go in with 28 million, which, you know, it's a considerably higher offer and it's above his value. Let's see what they say. Oh my... What? I was not expecting this. We haven't had any trouble, really, signing any of the players that I've uploaded these videos of, and this is the first one where I've genuinely been shocked. They want pretty much double his value, which, no. That's, even I would say, you know, he's one of my favourite players in the game. He's not worth 48 million when he's 82 rated. That's mind-blowing. All right, let's see if we can get him for maybe 35. Got a feeling they may actually reject this and walk out of the room again, which I don't really want, but let's see what they say. Wow. They really are not budging. So this is a task for you guys. Maybe you guys can try yourself, see if you can get him cheaper. Maybe if he was 81 rated and didn't have maybe such a good season in Season 1, maybe he would be cheaper. But we're going to have to go ahead and accept it. You cannot negotiate again after they bluntly rejected it twice. 48 million for Dortmund's star, Dahoud, who barely even gets into the first team these days. They haven't had a very good season, let's be honest. And let's see if we can get him on a decent contract. Because if his contract is cheaper than, you know, some of the other players in his position, his age, his overall, God, that looks nothing like him, then, you know, it's okay if you overspend a little bit. I think I'm going to go with rotation because it is Manchester United and he wants important. It's fair enough. I would have still offered important. That's not a problem at all. Okay, let's see. 5 years, of course. He is only 22 and that gets accepted, as you'd imagined. Let's go ahead and get rid of the release clause. Okay, so he wants 82,000 per week. Let's remove the appearances bonus. Let's give him... Let's bring that down to 80, but give him a slightly bigger signing bonus. Something like that. Let's see. And he wants 82k. To be fair, that isn't too bad. So 82,000 a week for an 82 rated player, I would say that is probably below average in the Premier League. So maybe you will have to pay quite a lot up front as the transfer fee, but in terms of the contract, it's not too bad. So let's go ahead and throw him into the team. You know, I know it's crazy, but you'd have to take out Matic really to fit him in. Him and Pogba would be amazing in midfield though. Bit unbalanced, I would still put Matic ahead. Maybe go with a 4-3-3 and have Pogba on the right, Dahoud on the left and Matic down in the middle. So it looks something like this. If I quickly do it, so it makes sense. I'd probably do something like that and then obviously have the wingers up in their correct positions. Just a 4-3-3, similar to what Dortmund play these days. You'd probably push him up a little bit like this. Get Pogba up a little bit as well, but still a little bit defensive. I think that's probably what I would end up doing. But, you know, I find it very difficult to describe why I like players so much. There's just a certain feel I get with players. And for me, Dahoud is definitely a top 10 player. I love this guy and I have done for so many years now on FIFA. So hopefully you guys are excited for the return of this series. I am going to be coming back with another Rostock episode very soon, but what I want to do is upload another video in between and update you on what's going on in my life right now. Some not so great stuff is going on, so it's making my YouTube stuff a little bit more difficult than usual. So hopefully you guys will understand when I upload that video. But this was the number 10 spot. Tomorrow we'll be back with number 9. And I actually can't remember who I put at number 9, but the rest of the top 10 players, just like Dahoud, are absolute beasts.